If you want to talk about pure domination, people that are way ahead of their time, especially somebody who's ahead of the Quest game, regardless, is Ghost of Tabor. It may not be everyone's cup of tea also at times this game, but regardless on what they're doing, marketing, community involvement, execution, and hell, I don't know how many times. And this is the VR game of the year also, by the way. That's just a little extra spice. I mean, it's no biggie. It's the game of the year. Again, it's still not my personal VR game of the year, but it's VR game of the year. It's a game for the people. I personally like Contractor Showdown better. I've said this in every video. Ghost of Tabor, literally every other 3 weeks or something, have updates. This is VR game of the year, and it's not even officially in the Quest store. It is in AppLab Games. It is a beta game still, technically. For the most part, it's still better than 95 to 99% of games on Quest. Ghost of Tabor is doing their hard carry job right now that they always do for Quest. They got a brand new update. They got a list of patch notes that I will be listing and leaving them on the screen for you all to look at. I'm telling you, what they are doing in VR as a standalone for just Quest, at least, is through the roof. I can't keep saying this enough that what they are doing is way ahead of their time. They're almost on like Call of Duty-esque type of marketing. And now they have like all this anime stuff going down, and they have like, I don't know what they're doing anymore. And it's not in a bad way. It's just, it's so hard to even keep up with this game at time because they're just constantly updating. If you're in their Discord, then you're going to be highly involved with this game. They are always ready to go with their community. They're always having posts and radio shows and updates and patch notes. And I tell you, and all types of depth to like how to keep audiences there. And they are doing it right. They are involved heavily. There's no way nobody's going to take the throne of this game anymore unless somebody really steps up. VR arena shooters are not going to be enough. Anything, unless you're doing like a lot of other updates in terms of apps or social aspects or anything that really evolves this type of virtual reality evolution, which I'm a fan of, right? I shared yesterday, right? All the mixed reality stuff that we have going down. Full body tracking on standalone, which is technically full body pose estimation with AI generated legs. If you want more information on that, check our other video before. Virtual reality is amazing with that. Again, our channel does not just cover quote unquote gameplay all day. We just love virtual reality in its whole, right? We like the hand tracking, we like the mixed reality, we like experiences, we like everything to do in VR, whether it's music or art or anything. We just love what it offers, and we're so optimistic about it. Gameplay can get kind of stale at times, and it's kind of a snooze fest, especially what's been going down with Asgard's Wrath. There's 10 out of 10 reviews, and then there's 1 out of 10 reviews, and there's people arguing that they are going to have a Quest 3 update. There's people that are pissed off that it's only on Quest 2 right now. People are saying it's massively boring. Some people are saying it's amazing. I see content creators getting backlash for it, and they are like fighting back against other people in the world of Twitter. Me, I prefer to stay out of that because I don't even play Asgard's Wrath. I know it's not my type of game. Ain't no way I'm staying in VR for more than like 3 hours, man. You're crazy. At least for right now in its early stages. And Quest 3 doesn't even have a battery that long, and you have to buy extended battery. And I already bought too much shit for Quest. Before I even think about buying extended battery for Quest, Quest needs to damn give us a way better head strap when you buy that thing. We spend $800 to wear like a cheap strap. And so no, I'm just not going to be buying extra batteries, extra everything. Not getting involved with Asgard's Wrath. It takes way too long, too much time. And I'm reading all the backlash and all the arguments and everybody going weirdo on that. So I'm good. I'm just staying out of all that drama. But Ghost of Tabor doing what they do best is literally what VR needs. A game, an extraction shooter, a game where you can grind. You don't have to really go too much. I mean, you do got to put in hours, but it's more of a longevity game. At the end of the day, VR lacks longevity with gameplay in terms of what game am I going to, like the replayability for sure. Like what game am I going to be able to replay today that's going to give me the essences that I enjoy, that could take my experience to the next level, where I feel immersed, comfortable, where it's not too fast paced all day, where it's just like an arena shooter. And Ghost of War does that. It has all of its own stakes on the line, and it also provides that realism and that tactical essence. And again, they're constantly updating. Even if it's not my personal favorite game, I appreciate what they do. on the updates, on the patch notes, on being VR Game of the Year. Not even officially released yet, only on App Lab Games, which means you can still get on Quest, of course, but it's not in the actual store. When it releases on the store, it's going to be even more. They're going to have more backup, more marketing around it, and it's going to be even better. But that's what the beauty of VR is when taking it to the next level. VR somehow falls under the eyesight and under the hype of, how can I say, like mainstream. Everybody always thinks they have something, an idea for mainstream VR, but for some reason it's just not working, right? Everybody was pushing this. Asgard's Wrath is more like a VR aspect, right? Like actual grimy VR players and gamers, which is huge, which is cool. It's a AAA type scenario, right? Assassin's Creed was, and people thought that was going to bring the hype. Again, I didn't really believe that was going to bring the hype just because Assassin's Creed like gave us some bullshit ass rendered trailer. And then they decided to like, okay, I'll show gameplay later. And it just, a lot of the weird gimmicky things and untrustworthy things that happen in VR, which is why we always take a step back. We just try to view it as a whole. We love VR. We just don't like the BS lies and the overhype of VR. But we also don't like that a lot of things go underrated in virtual reality. So that's the thing what happens in virtual reality, right? A lot of things end up overrated and a lot of things end up underrated. And that sucks. We would like for a balanced correlation with virtual reality, right? The same way like flat screen gaming is, but just not to that extent. We tend to underrate things like this full body pose estimation, the mixed reality that's coming around. We're really kind of underrating that still. When it first launched, the mixed reality, it was overhyped, but now it's like a little bit underrated. And this full body tracking that I did share, like the inside and out tracking and all that, and the AI generated legs and inside and out tracking and full body synthesis. And this is huge. That's a huge for social networking, emotional connections, and getting into the next version of technology. We don't know when that will be, but it at least gives us an idea of how we can start getting avatars a little bit more realistic and stuff. That's huge. Not really talked about enough because it's not really gameplay, because Quest is heavily involved in gameplay, right? I mean, I opened up with Ghost of Tabor. It's a huge gameplay platform first, and then we overrate things, right? Like I wouldn't say Asgard's Wrath is overrated, but I've heard like back and forth already, too much mixed stuff going down. Like either people really love it or people really hate it and call it boring. Then we had just gameplay in totality. Like every other game that comes out is a game changer. Every other game that comes out is like this and that. It just gets kind of annoying with that. So it just sucks that there's no really level playing field with VR. It's either overrated, way overhyped, and it's also overhyped because VR looks exotic, right? It looks next level. You're wearing this headset. Some people have vests like me. We have all this next level gear, PC VR if you want, recording everywhere. But it's still, for some reason, only attracts people that are already in VR. VR audiences are usually just people that are playing VR themselves, which is not great, which is why on our channel, we tend to try to make it a little bit more for the general audiences and more casual versus just being specifically specified for a VR only audience, which is a bad circle that we tend to fall into. Even as VR creators, we, all of us tend to create too much virtual reality that's not enough to educate other people or share people or expand their notion on it. So, Ghost of Tabor doing a great job. The idea of it, not just as a game, but how they're working with the game, is how Ghost of Tabor is going to mainstream virtual reality. That's just my hot take. I think that they will take VR to the next level. There's just no competition right now, at least for right now. It's obviously VR Game of the Year for a reason, and I think they're going to continuously with their success, and I'm so happy for them because they're setting such a milestone. And they're setting the boundary so high for how you're going to have to market in the future. They're way ahead of their time right now because their marketing is next level. All their graphics and everything is just amazing what they're doing all around VR. And they're going to be at the top for a long time. They're setting these boundaries very high, and devs are going to have to take note of this. And it's going to be insane. I can't wait for it, man. I appreciate y'all, and peace. Let me know what y'all think too, bro, by the way. Peace.